Members, and welcome to another Monday 10-minute training. Today's topic is an interesting one, mystery spinal pain. And there is a lot to cover when it comes to this. It was a topic that when it was first brought up to me, I thought this was going to be an exciting one to dive into because there's a lot more to it than just pain. You see, we often talk about the whole body being connected, right? Everything is connected to it. So when you have scar tissue in your pinky toe, how does that affect your body? Well, this is on a way deeper level than you might think, right? The body's electrical systems, the pathways, traverse the fascial tissue of the body, and they connect to different organs in the body. These pathways all connect in the spine, and this actually permits the signals to be sent to and from the brain. So when you have a problem with one of your organs, well, it connects to your spine, it passes through, and it shoots up to the brain, and the brain can then respond and communicate that way. So there's a lot of little intricate bits, but the spine works as this pathway. So this whole electrical system throughout the body, in this electrical system, there is little more important than the spinal column. I consider the spinal column to be like the fuse box of the body. And so when an area of the body is overloaded, the corresponding fuse will trip. Now, this is where your root cause for your pain comes from. If you have random mystery spinal pain and you did not hurt your back whatsoever, the chances are this is connected to an organ system that is in trouble. Now, this will manifest in inflammation, right? Once you start to have a problem, you're going to get inflammation, which creates pain. But more importantly, this blocks the signal from passing through. Let's take a look at these. I've prepared a couple of slides for this just to keep it interesting. We've got, this is the primary one I want to focus on here because we're going to then be able to talk about relationships between these different organs. Okay, so let's take a look at this chart here. And for reference, this is available in Current Medicine should anyone want to look at it a bit closer, because it's probably not, if you're watching this on your phone, it might be a bit small. But as you can see, every single organ system in the body is connected in one way or the other to the spine. So when you have this spinal pain, you're often dealing with organ problems. When we're doing a protocol like 3 pathways, we're looking at the spine and the relationships that it has with organs. You'll often find if you tend to have a weak organ or you have a problem with a certain organ system, that this will reflect your 3 pathways reading. I, for example, have been very open about how I consider my weak organ to be my liver. It's the thing that always comes back to haunt me ever since I got food-borne hepatitis when I was a kid. So that inflammation of the liver kind of hit me really, really hard. And to this day, the first thing to falter when I get sick tends to be my liver. So I have to keep track of it. This manifests itself a lot when I get a 3 pathways, as this 3 pathways system will actually show me the problem being somewhere around my mid-spine, which is because it's reflecting my liver. And you'll often be able to see this as you're doing the treatments, because if you were to just look directly through from the spine to the front, well, what organ systems are you touching? But these relationships can be important because ultimately they're controlling whether we're experiencing a problem or not. Okay. So looking at that picture, let's take a look at what we can do. Now, the best method, and it's time tested, it's being done for over 20 years, would be to do a 3 pathways, 6 points protocol. This is, some people call it 3/6, and 3 pathways, 6 points. The 6 points is useful because it works on the face, but the 3 pathways is the key here because you will uncover the area. Imagine this, again, back to my fuse box analogy. Imagine this as the way to look at the fuse box. If you were to lose power in your house, the first thing you probably will check is your fuse box. You go and you open the fuse box, you got your flashlight, and you find out what breakers have tripped, right? If any. This is what three pathways allows us to do. It allows us to check which fuses are blown in the fuse box and repair them. And it's a kind of all-in-one treatment system. So when you're doing three pathways, you'll end up being able to treat the organs. Now, interestingly enough, one of the other names for three pathways is actually called hidden pain. And this is because the pain is being manifested far away from where it may be, but by working on the spine, you can work on the organ systems as well. Now, three pathways can be performed in two different ways. One is the precise protocol, which is the general way, the original way, done with the Pinnacle or the Pro Sport 3. And the reason that you need those devices is the screen on the machine. The screen enables you to actually take readings, and being able to take readings is going to be what actually tips you off to what exactly is going on in these different areas. Now, beyond this, there's also what we call the shotgun approach. And this would be where you treat the entire spine with the evolution or the genesis. Either way, the goal here is to correct these blown fuses. Now, these protocols, the three pathways protocols, are fairly involved. Obviously, the Pinnacle Pro Sport version, being more accurate, has a lot of different steps to it. And there is just no way that that is ever going to fit into a 10-minute training whatsoever. So, we're not going to talk about how to do that today. However, if you go into your training videos, which you have access to, or you use your manuals for your devices, or even Current Medicine 3rd edition, I think on pages 32 is where it starts, and it goes to about 36, 37. There is fully detailed instructions on how to perform this protocol step by step, better than I'm going to be able to do live in this short amount of time. Now, this is for either model of three pathways, the shotgun approach and the basic approach, or the more complex approach, I suppose. Additionally, though, beyond this, and what I really want to focus on today is that we can look to the other side of the fuse problem and look at the mystery pain signal that way. So again, referring to this diagram here, again, this is in Current Medicine, we can actually determine the rough locations of the organ problems based on the spinal discomfort or the pain, and we can treat those directly. So for those, the recommended treatment is going to be using a soft tissue frequency, which would be 77 hertz or SanaSoft T over the dysfunctional organ. And that's essentially going to clear active zones. Those of you who know what active zones are, that's great. Those of you who don't, an active zone is when you pass the device over the body, you'll often find these sticky areas where the device no longer has smooth movement and instead feels like you're stuck in like quicksand or something. This is an active zone. And when you've come across an active zone, you really just want to paint the device in all sorts of different directions over it to break that up. So if you're going to see, for example, an area that is in pain on the spine, that likely corresponds with the liver. Well, then what you're going to do is you could do the three pathways, or you could take the device, set it to soft tissue, and then locate the liver, which is under the right breast area, and you can treat the liver directly with the microcurrent. And in doing so, in actually working on that area and clearing the active zones, you're going to be helping to deal with the pain in the spine. So this is what I mean. It's quite incredible how you have this big connection between all these different organ systems and how everything is connected to that fuse box on your spine. And realistically, for such a complex system, it absolutely amazes me how profoundly basic fixing that system can be. It's just a communication blockage. And we've all experienced these in real life, communication problems, miscommunication, we call it. And the issues that can arise from a simple miscommunication are massive. And it's the same with the body. A simple miscommunication, something little that's going on, a fuse that's tripped, can be enough to send the body into disarray. And you will experience then, as what we're talking about today in this video, this mystery spinal pain, this hidden pain. So being able to just address this in such a basic way is amazing. And it's doable with all of the devices, which is just perfect. So thank you everyone for joining me today. If you have any questions, comments, if you liked what you saw about what we discussed today, go ahead, use the comment section below, let us know. This was a really interesting topic, and I really appreciate someone bringing it up because it's just a great one to be able to dive into. Otherwise, I hope you have an excellent week, and I look forward to you joining me next week for another Monday 10-minute training. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.